25 years ago, I found myself at Lawrence University in Appleton, Wisconsin, in a freshman calculus class. I needed a math credit. That's where I got stuck. I am not a math major, and I was over my head. The prof was this marvelous teacher, gifted professor. And we're in the middle of this particular semester, and he's working through this calculus equation, and he laid it out beautifully on the chalkboard. He did it logically, methodically, carefully, and he took his time explaining every single detail in the equation, its significance and its rationale. And he did it twice, and I didn't get it. Not even remotely. And I'm sitting there like, huh? And unfortunately, I'm in a room full of math majors, and they're all going, "Oh, Drew, don't you worry. You'll get it. It's real easy. We'll help you." So I had two of them, one on this side, giving me help. No work. It didn't sink in. Wah, 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 wah. All right, needless to say, my patience was wearing thin, blood pressure was starting to rise, and they all gave me space, because people shouldn't look purple. And I just decided, enough, I'm just going to look out the window, because that was more entertaining. And I spaced out for a minute or two, and when I focused back on the textbook, a miracle happened. All that jumbled letters, numbers, formulas, equations, all went zzz, and it came into focus. I got it. And I went, oh, about that loud. And everybody in the room zeroes in on me. And the prof, really, again, a prince of a man, just kind of looked back, smiled, and said, "Mr. Ricci, you've just had an epiphany." To shine upon. That's what epiphany means, epiphanos. And in our world, we often associate light with understanding. Do you see the light? Do you see it? Just the very notion of sight and light with intellect, understanding, awareness. They're all put together because that's how we associate light. That light gives not just truth and knowledge, but also gives faith. The light of faith we often use. It's that sense of light that brings us awareness, both intellectually and spiritually, that we hear about in the readings today. The star that guides the Magi. We don't know the number from the scriptures, but traditionally we say there's three of them: Caspar, Melchior, Balthazar. But those wise men, those Magi, they saw light. And folks, there's two things I want to tease out on this Feast of the Epiphany about light for our takeaways. First, the Magi were drawn to the light. They were on a journey. They came from a distance. They had to work for this, but they saw something, and they were not going to be denied. They were going to come to the light. They were going to make their way to the light. They were going to ask questions and go to foreign places because the light was worth it. They wanted to be in the light. And what a beautiful thing for us to consider on this new year. For us to seek out the light of truth, the light of knowledge, the light of Christ. That for us to say there are certain things in life that are so important, we're going to go on a journey, and we're going to ask questions, and we're going to fight for and look for that which is truly precious, truly holy, God's light. A light that casts out darkness, a light that gives hope, a light that gives strength, a light that expands our understanding, a light by which we can see our way through the world, honestly recognizing the people around us, and honestly recognizing the God who gives us all these blessings. But to cling to and seek out and search for the light, just like the Magi. That's the first thing. But here's the second. I'm going to suggest that they became changed and transformed after they met their destination. They brought gold. They brought frankincense. They brought myrrh. They brought gifts worthy of kings, and they set them before an infant. Simply put, my friends, they encountered Jesus. They encountered the baby Jesus. And I'm going to say it changed them. It altered their life for the rest of their days. They can't live the same way because they have knelt before the King of Kings. They have made this journey into the light, and once you're in the light, you don't want to leave it. Once you're in the light, once you have seen and encountered God's love, who wants to leave that? Who wants to avoid or walk away from that? Because simply put, whenever we encounter Jesus Christ, something changes. The minute a person's life intersects with the Lord, they change, they're transformed, and when they grow. And from that point on, for the wise men, it's important in the scriptures that they went home by a different route. They are different people. And as they have changed and been transformed, the same is true for us. We cannot embrace our faith. We can't come to the light of God and recognizing that it changes us. We can't be the same anymore. We're going to be different when we walk out the doors. When people see us, do they see God's light shining in us? If we are drawn to that light, then that light better be glowing in our hearts. And it better show up in the thoughts that trace across our brain because darkness doesn't fit there. And it better come out of the words we say because our words better be enlightened, illuminated. That the things that are coming out of us build people up and bring them hope and joy and strength. Because if they don't, then we are testifying not to light but to darkness. And we can't say that anymore. Because once we've encountered Christ, our light, that's how we live. And of course, our actions. That the things that we do each and every day shot through with the sparks of light that come from Christ. That when people see us on the streets and in the supermarkets and at work and at school and at home, they see God's light in us. Because ultimately, in the last analysis, we are meant not only to seek out that light, but to share that light, that the light passes through us. What we receive is what we share, and in so doing, extend the power and glory of God's light, God's love into the world. That we pass on the light. That we bring it out, helping others see clearly as well. The light of that star changed the Magi, and the light of Christ changes us. May we seek it. May we share it. May it strengthen our hearts and those we meet. God bless you all.